I'm really lucky to have some cool succulents, cacti and euphorbia in my collection. I grew up around them in South Africa. I was surrounded by them in my garden, in spaces wherever I went, and I think I took it for granted as I grew up, but I definitely appreciate it so much more now when I go and visit South Africa, and I love having them in my house and in my plant room, just like this amazing euphorbia next to me. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my top favourite succulents, cacti and euphorbia that I have cared for over this summer. Some have produced some amazing growth and I've loved having them in my space. So let's get going. Number one has got to be my Opuntia cactus, or my bunny ear cactus, prickly pear cactus it's also called. I recently got this lovely plant and it didn't have any of this growth on here. This growth started as little dots, and I'll leave a picture on here to show you what it looked like. But it started as little dots on these pads, and I went away for a few days and it's just developed into these amazing pads. If you haven't touched one of these prickly pears before, they are really uncomfortable. If you get these thorns, fibres, I'm not sure what they're called, but they are really uncomfortable when they come into contact with your skin. So definitely don't touch. However, the new pads that have come out are really soft and kind of fluffy. Maybe that's why it's called bunny ear cactus as well, because they're really kind of soft to touch. They are starting to feel a little bit more coarse and a little bit more prickly, and they're definitely gearing up to be the same as the more mature pads. But coming out the first time, they were really lovely and soft to touch. I am so chuffed with all of the growth. I think I counted 7 new pads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And there's a tiny one developing just there. So 8 new pads this summer. It gets some bright direct sun. I water when the soil is completely dry, and I absolutely love this cactus, and I'm so pleased I got it into my collection. Number 2 is my euphorbia. I've got loads of euphorbias, like these ones that I have showed in my previous videos before. I've rescued loads of these, although I have got big ones that are starting to hit the ceiling. But these little ones, the stick is in here because these stems were rotting and I had to prop them up. Whereas in fact, I can actually take this out now because they're standing up by themselves. So I love euphorbia anyway, but this summer I added this beautiful euphorbia to my collection, which I have always wanted. I do need to move it because as we're moving out of summer and into autumn and winter, it's not getting as much direct sun as it should do in the corner that it's in. But I absolutely love this euphorbia, and I can't wait to see it grow. I did leave it outside during the hot summer days just to top up on a bit of sun. I love it, and I'm so glad I found one to add to my collection. Number 3 is my silver torch cactus, and I have shown this one off in previous videos before. I rescued, so heavy. I rescued this lovely plant from an elderly lady who couldn't care for it anymore. I have had questions on my videos whether I put rocks and stones into my soil, and I don't. This is just decorative rock and stones that I have on top. But this silver torch cactus has grown loads this summer, and it has produced a brand new baby that's popped up. It gets full sun. I can't wait for it to grow bigger because they can grow really, really tall. And it's just really beautiful. It looks kind of soft and fluffy, but it's actually really prickly. So love my silver torch cactus, and I cannot wait to see it grow even bigger. Number 4 is a Euphorbia, and I finally added one to my collection. These lovely plants are native to South Africa, so I really remember them growing up, and I'm so pleased I managed to add this to my collection. They don't need as much direct sun as other succulents and cacti and Euphorbia might do, so it's in a bright spot but out of direct sunlight. I will repot this plant into some fresh soil soon and a bigger pot, but I absolutely love them and I want to get a few different varieties to add to my collection, but I need a bit more space in here. I am rapidly growing out of space, and I always find, as bizarrely as it sounds, these little plants take up more room than big plants do in a way, because I just have too many little pots around, and I think sometimes I need to consolidate them into one pot. Because, for example, with my Euphorbias that I have rescued, I've got 3 of these sat here, whereas actually I just need to pot all 3 into one pot and just create a big plant to free up a bit of space. So as soon as I can free up some space, I will definitely add a few more Euphorbia varieties to my collection. But really pleased, I feel right at home with this in my plant room. Number 5 is my Sansevieria, and this has grown so much. I've run out of room for where it is. It's really heavy. I got this lovely Sansevieria or snake plant from a family friend, and it's grown so much this summer. I did fertilize it, and I'm still fertilizing it because it's got some brand new growth coming. So even though we are coming out of the summer months and into autumn and winter, I am still fertilizing it because there's new growth coming. Absolutely love this plant. It's such a statement plant in my plant room. Even now, where I took it out of that corner, the corner where it's in, it looks so bare. So absolutely love it. It's such an easy plant. It gets some direct morning sunshine, and it's just kind of to the side of the window, so it does get a bright light and some direct morning and afternoon sun, and it's just so happy in the space, which makes me really happy because I absolutely love this plant. Number 6 feels a little bit fragile and that I need to be careful with it, but it's my moonstone succulents. This plant I thought was on its way out probably about a year ago because there was barely anything left of it. I leave it in my windowsill, and to be honest, I have forgotten about it. I don't water it very often. It does get some direct sunlight and it is thriving, clearly. I even found, as I was looking and getting it down from the windowsill, a leaf had dropped off onto the soil and it's growing some new roots. So I'm just going to leave it on top of the soil because this will ultimately start to grow a new plant like this. I am definitely going to repot this into a bigger pot. I might pop it into terracotta. Terracotta is great for succulents and cacti because terracotta pots are porous, which means it can drain any excess water out, which is perfect for succulents and cacti because they don't like a soggy, wet soil. So I'm going to repot this into fresh soil, into a terracotta pot before autumn fully kicks in, and then just give it a new home, and I cannot wait to see the growing it's going to do next summer. It's had some fertilizer this summer as well, and I'm still fertilizing it because it's got some new moonstones popping out. So absolutely love this, and I'm so chuffed. It's come back to life. I thought that it was on its way out not so long ago. Number 7 is my mammillaria cactus, and you may have seen this beast in my previous videos before. I rescued this again from an elderly lady who just couldn't care for it anymore, and it's grown so much. I definitely need to repot this as well. It naturally lies down like this. So the pot that it's in currently is just no good for it. I need to pop it into a rectangular pot and just to support the growth. Ow, that's really prickly. Just to support the lying down tendencies that this cactus has, because at the moment it's just not supported enough. It's so interesting and it's just so fascinating, and I feel really lucky to have this old cactus in my collection. So I'll show you once I repot it into a rectangular pot to give it a bit more support. But this is my Mammillaria cactus. Number 8 is my Sedum burrow's tail. This started from such a tiny cutting from a friend a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago. I can't even remember. Must have been about 3 years ago because they're quite slow growing. I'll leave a picture on here just so you can see how it started off. This is on the same windowsill as my moonstones, and it's getting quite a lot of light, some bright sun and very minimal water because I don't often check that windowsill, but it's clearly loving the space. I love this plant and I've propagated it before quite a lot, but even yet it still looks quite full and it's started to trail. They are so cool, and I'm so chuffed with how much it's grown over the summer. I'm so chuffed with how it's grown over the summer, especially how it started off with such a tiny plant. So yeah, this is my Sedum burrow's tail. Number 9 is my fishbone cactus, and the reason I'm so chuffed with this is because it started off with just one stem. I was in a local garden centre and one of the stems fell off their fishbone cactus and it was lying on the floor. I asked them whether I could take it home. They said yes. So I popped the stem into water, some roots appeared, and it's just grown into this lovely fishbone cactus. I have seen some super full, beautiful ones, and I really hope that this one is on its way to growing a full, beautiful cactus. It's definitely doing well with some new growth. I'm still fertilizing this as well because it's clearly still very much growing, and I can't wait to see what it will do come next summer. Number 10 is my Crassula Gollum. I went to a planting evening with a few friends quite a few years ago, and this plant was a tiny cutting, and it's given me so much growth this summer. I just love the structure of the stems. It's grown into a proper little tree. It gets some full sun during the day. So it's in a bright spot. I have given it some fertilizer as well, and I just really love how this has turned into it's almost a mini Christmas tree. I can actually decorate it come Christmas. So really pleased with how this has grown. I will try and find a picture of when I first planted it. It was tiny, but I'm not sure if I still have one. Amongst my thousands of plant pictures, it's often difficult to find anything if I don't save it properly. So I'll try and find one and pop it up, but really love this and how it has grown over the last few years. I hope you enjoyed watching and seeing my top 10 succulents, cacti and euphorbia that I've loved over this summer. If you have succulents and cacti, and if you have any favourites, I'd love to know what they are. Drop them in the comments below. But thank you for watching. I will see you next time. Bye.